Hello everyone, welcome back to our Power BI session. I really hope that all of you are doing very well. So before we start with our today's session, I really hope that all of you have gone through the previous sessions that we had so far, and if in case you didn't got the opportunity to continue or to watch that, please just bring some time in your busy schedule and try to visit those so that we all are in same line of how we are learning and what we are learning. There is a circumstance where the client comes to us and they ask us to give us wireframe of what how we can present or how we can show their data in a very beautiful and easy to understand way. And for that purpose, it is very important for us to understand the importance of any visualization, like which visualization should be considered for to represent what kind of data into it. So for that, it's very important for us to know about each and every visualization. So there are some common visualizations that we most oftenly use, like we use bar graph, we use pie chart, we use donut chart, we use area chart, line chart, and sometimes there is combination also, and some type of map also we use. So all those stuffs are there, but the point is when to use what. This is the point. Okay, so that you can generate a good page, you can generate a good dashboard, and you are able to represent the same in front of client. And you know what, once you are ready with it, you are able to showcase what the data, how the data is coming up and everything, client is fine, so definitely the project is all yours. So for in order to be familiar with visualization, this session is especially on. So here we will be covering about what are the different type of visualizations that we most oftenly use and why we should be using those visualization, or we can say that today this is going to be an introduction session of visualizations in Power BI. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start with our first visualization. So the first one is column or bar chart. So we use the column or bar chart for comparing values across categories, and it is suitable for displaying discrete data and showing variations. In case of horizontal bar chart, it can be useful for long category labels. So here you can see that in first section we are having only the bar charts. So we will be focusing on these kind of charts, like here you can see that we are getting column charts. So any place we are getting column charts, that is the one that we are talking about right now. So column chart. So here you can see that what there are different types of column slash bar chart options also available here. Okay, so now let's go ahead with our second chart format or the second visualization format, that is line chart. So when is it ideal to use a line chart? Line chart is ideal for showing when we have to show some trends over time, and it is also useful for depicting changes in continuous data points. So how is the line chart? So here you can see that in our second line, the first one, this is the line chart. So here you can see that there are two different lines going up. So like we discussed here, that it can help us showing trends over time and depicting the change in continuous data points. So this is the work of line. Okay, now let's go ahead with the next one, that is area chart. Similar to line chart, but can show cumulative data, useful for illustrating part to whole relationship over time. So this is moreover similar to the line chart, but yes, there are some positive points and some additional points over it, that it can help us to show the cumulative data, and it is also useful for illustrating parts to whole relationship over time. So how is the area chart going to appear? So here on the line number 2, you can see that after line chart we are having area chart. So this is how the area chart is coming up. You can see that in case of line chart there is a line only, whereas in case of area there is a section that is shaded with blue and gray. So there is a difference between area chart and line chart. Okay, then next let's come to pie chart. So when to use pie chart? It helps us sparingly and only when showing part to whole relationship. Limit the number of segments to ensure clarity. Consider using bar charts or stacked bar charts instead if segments are difficult to distinguish. So suppose if we have 10 products with us, okay, and I want to see which 5 products are having the best sales. So like I want to see the sales of top 5 products. So in such categories, it's good to use pie chart. And for clarity purpose, it's all obviously good to filter out the unwanted data. So if I want top 5, I will be filtering out only the data for top 5. So how is the pie chart going to look? So here you can see line number 3. This is the pie chart, and here you can see that the chart icon is showing some division among the data, like one section is in white and one is in blue. And here in the definition also we talked about like when we have to showing part to whole relationship, showing part to whole relationship. So this is about pie chart, and please don't worry that we are just talking about it theoretically, because definitely once we start working with this visualization from our next session, we will be able to be more clear with the visualization with practical examples while working on these visualizations. Okay, so now let's move to the next chart, that is donut chart. Donut chart is similar to pie chart, okay, but this is a variation of pie chart. The only variation that I can talk about is there is a hole between the in case of donut chart. It can be used for part to whole relationship, which is similar to the pie chart. So here after pie chart, you can see that there is a donut chart, and you can see that here also the data is being separated with white and blue color shade, right? But there is a hole in between, and that is the reason this is known as donut chart. Okay, let's move to the next one, that is scatter plots. It is used to visualize the relationship between two numerical variables, helpful for identifying patterns, clusters, or correlations. So here is the scatter chart. Okay, and similarly there is another chart which is known as bubble chart, but in case of bubble chart there is addition of third dimension, which is the size of bubble. Okay, it is useful for displaying three-dimensional data with two numerical variables and one categorical variable. Let's move to the next one, which is stacked column / bar chart. Now you must be thinking that we already discussed about the bar chart and the column chart, right? Then why we are talking about stacked column chart and bar chart again? Because the point is we have variation in the bar chart also. So one side we are having the normal bar chart where we can show the complete data with different bars. Like here, if I come back, then you can see that in this case we are having different colors, right? There is no breakdown between a single bar, okay? But in this case, if you see, then the bar is divided into two. One shade is showing white and one is showing blue, whereas one is showing white and another is showing gray. So this is the reason we are talking about stacked bar chart once again, without including it into our bar chart that we already talked about, because it is suitable for comparing the total and individual contribution within categories, and it is also useful when you want to show both the whole and the parts. So if in case you have a good data, so suppose I am having one product and in that product I have subcategories and I want to analyze that which of the subcategory is giving me good revenue. So how I can do that? So for that case, stacked bar chart is very good for me, because I will be getting the overall sales of my stacked bar chart with the complete bar section, whereas the subcategories division will be done on the color basis. So here, like here in case of this icon, we are seeing two shades, right? White and blue. So in my case, if I am having 5 subcategories for my product, I will be having 5 sections, and each of those sections will be representing me the sales for those particular subcategories. That is why we are talking here about the stack bar chart, so that we can utilize it well when needed and where needed. So now let's go ahead and move to our next section, that is stacked area chart. So again, we already discussed about this area chart previously, but since like here we discussed already about the stacked bar chart, same thing is in case of stacked area chart also. So it can show cumulative data while indicating the contribution of each category over time. So here you can see that it is going to show us the cumulative data as in case of area chart, but the additional thing is that by indicating the contribution for each category over time. So this is the additional thing that we are getting, highlighting trends in part to whole relationship. Okay, so here you can see that next to area chart is our stacked area chart. Now moving to our next chart, that is combo chart. So what is the meaning of combo chart? So it is as simple as the name indicates itself. Combo chart means when we have combination of two different charts or more than two different charts in one. So suppose I want to show two things in at one place. So I can have one I can represent one data with the help of line chart, and in the same chart I can represent my another data with the help of bar chart. So such kind of combinations is known as combo chart. It is useful for comparing different data types or units such as revenue and profit. So if in case you want to bring up some differences between the different type of units, you can utilize this thing. So I want to compare revenue and profit. So I can use my combo chart. So this is how we have the combo chart over here. So you can see that one is line and stacked column chart, and the another one is line and clustered column chart. Okay. Now moving to our next one, that is tree map. Tree map is like it displays the hierarchical data using nested rectangles. It is useful for showing proportion within a hierarchy structure. So like we have tree, right? So the same way it is following. It displays the hierarchical data using a nested rectangle. So how it is going to display? So let's go to the icon for this tree map. So here you can see there is a big square box, and inside that square box you can see that there are subsections divided into it. So in this way it represents the whole data in a hierarchical structure box inside a box. Now let's talk about a very good chart, that is Gauss chart. It shows a single value within a predefined range. So let's take a live example of a Gauss chart, right? So suppose you are driving a scooty, okay, and there you can see that there is an indicator that helps us that how much kilometers we have crossed so far. So there is only one arrow that is pointing towards the number of kilometers we are passing on, like 0 kilometer, 15 kilometer, 13 kilometer. So accordingly the arrow will be moving in a semicircle way. So similarly, this is the use of Gauss chart. There is a value range coming up where there is going to be an arrow and it will be indicating us the data. So it gives a very beautiful representation if it is used at a correct and proper place. It is useful for illustrating performance against a target or a goal. Okay, and next is the KPI visualization. So it displays key performance indicator in a concise manner. It is useful for summarizing essential metrics on the dashboard. So if in case we want to represent something in a small place, but it should be meaningful, in those cases we can use the KPI more like widgets. So it is like a small card where we will be able to represent a good data with the help of this particular visualization, that is KPI. Similarly, we have one more this kind of stuff which can be used as a small card, and it can help us to show a good data. That is, its name is card only, card visualization. But in this case, it helps us to display a single value or a calculated results, useful for highlighting important metrics prominently. So here you can see that on right there is the card visualization which is showing 1 2 3, and this is the data. Okay, so only one single data will be coming up here. There will be no like where to start and when to end, nothing like that will be there. There will be a single data which will be representing the amount that we want to show, like this year revenue I want to see. So it will be giving me this year revenue only. Okay, something like that if we want to see on the top. So those kind of stuffs we can have here in card. Now moving to next, that is map visualization. There are times when the company wants to check like at which location I'm getting a good revenue, like in which branch I'm getting a good revenue and in which branch I'm getting low revenue, where it can be within a country, different states. Also, the branches can be in different companies. In the branches can be in different countries too, right? Depending on the popularity of that branch or how demanding it is. For example, Amazon. So Amazon may have some branches here in India in different states, and it can have branches all across the world also, right? So in such cases, if Amazon wants to see at which particular location I'm getting a good revenue and which particular location I'm getting very low revenue, so in for those cases map visualization is great because it will show geographical data and locations based on insights, and it will be helpful for spatial analysis and regional comparison. So this is all about the general visualizations that we might use in our upcoming sessions. So I hope it must be clear for you guys. If in case you have any question or concern related to the visualization, please don't hesitate to ask. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.